So I'm Ellie Hamilton. I'm 16. I am a junior at Redhook High School in Hudson Valley, New York. And some things about me: I'm a musician, I'm a photographer, and a filmmaker.
Hi, I'm Siddharth. I'm a senior at the Harper School in San Jose, California. I really love to play football and watch football, and I love to do robotics as well.
Hi, I'm Andrew Mack. I'm a senior from Long Island, New York, and a little bit about how I got into this project is I had a clothing donation called Warm New York, where I resource clothes from multiple donation sites and distribute it out globally and locally to those in need around me.
Okay, so first we're going to get into some historical context of our presentation, because it's a big part of it. So I'm going to try to be wise in my words with respect to the Institute, but the current administration is putting some threats on a lot of museums and libraries and nonprofits that deal with archives. Specifically, the Smithsonian has been facing a lot of threats. Specifically, in March, there was an executive order titled Restoring Truth and Sanity to the American History, whatever that means. And I just think this is really dangerous because, I don't know, I mean, a lot of the topics that they are targeting right now, like include slavery and the Holocaust. And I think those are a lot of topics that kind of make us like hold our breath a little bit because they have a lot of power over us. And with topics like these, when we kind of fear them because they can make us feel guilty about ourselves and about our nation and about who we are as people, but even if it's hard to talk about, you need to like have access to topics like these that are credible to learn from these mistakes and to compare, right? To compare things that are happening right now to what's happened in the past so that we can better process them. And I don't know, I feel like history should be it's not supposed to be subjective, it's supposed to be shown to us in a like objective manner. And then from there we can kind of form our own opinions about it, but when what is being shown to us is also interfered with opinion, especially politically, we enter a place where we are unaware and uneducated, and that it can just be so dangerous. And so how we want to kind of change this is through fashion, because fashion is known to be a gateway of political expression. And we have some images right here. On the right, we have a Vivian Western show, and on the left, a student project. And so our idea is that we have these t-shirts with different subjects through history with a QR code on the back that will bring you to a database full of different documents and archives based on different journalists and artists that can help you access more education and knowledge about it. So, our first subject is Byron Rustin. I'm sure you've heard of that name a lot this weekend. The lovely actor Camille Williams, the artist who did these lovely shirts. I love her so much. I think she's so cool. Speak on Thursday. And we have the Byron Rustin Institute here this weekend as well. And I just thought he was such a good figure for us to put on our first issue t-shirt because he was a huge part of the civil rights movement. He was one of the main organizers of the March on Washington, but not a lot of people have heard about him. Have you guys heard about Byron Rustin before this weekend? Yeah, some of you. But I have not. I feel like mostly in schools we touch on Martin Luther and then kind of move past it. And so like subjects like these, like Byron Rustin, we kind of want to make more accessible and for you to have this library of information on to learn more about. So, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit on the sustainability in design. So sustainability is the ability to meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So knowing this, we actually partnered with my dad's organization, Version Tomorrow, where it's a sustainable t-shirt that's 0% plastic, 0% synthetics, and 100% recycled cotton. So we were able to be environmentally responsible while creating this advocacy t-shirt. And about the design, I want to thank Camille for letting us use her artwork and digitizing it onto the t-shirt. And we put the QR code strategically subtle on the back where it's not too distracting or annoying, but if someone goes past you and sees it, they're like, oh wait, look at this QR code, and they might want to scan it, and then Sid will talk more about it, but then it leads you to a website with all the information about the specific person, and in this case, Fire Wrestling. So fashion is a form of self-expression, a way to show who you are and what you stand for. We Wear the Word empowers you to extend that expression into advocacy, using clothing as a platform to raise awareness and spark dialogue around important social issues. So a lot of you look very fashionable today, so I think wearing a shirt that has the capability of being towards advocacy is very important. So, yeah.
I'm gonna do a little technology demo for you guys. So if my people wearing the shirts could please turn around and show everyone the shirts. And if you'd be so kind as to scan the QR code on the back with your phone and follow along with me. So the QR code will initially take you to a site about the shirt. On the front of that site, you'll see the artwork on the front of the shirt, because oftentimes if you walk past someone, you don't really recognize what's on the front of the shirt. And I think we really want to draw attention to the artists and the community members who are helping us out with this project. Then underneath the artwork is some information, some brief information about the person highlighted, in this case by Rustin. And then finally at the bottom, it encourages you to explore more through our digital archive site. So if you look at the sidebar on the left, which is through a pop-up menu, you can see all of our information so far, where we categorize the Fire Rustin and the March on Washington, and some specific documents from the Smithsonian, all under free use and license and permission. Finally, at the bottom of the page it initially takes you to through the QR code, there's this geo-tracking feature. So if you click on that button, it will ask you for your location, and it will send you to an article specifically based on where you are in the world. So right now, if you're on the West Coast, it will take you to some information about the Fire Wrestling Society. If you're on the East Coast, it would take you to one of the organizing manuals of the March on Washington. And then internationally, it will take you to the overall page for the March on Washington. And this geo-tracking feature is important for two reasons. First of all, because it creates variety in terms of what people see when they scan the site. So it encourages more people to scan the same shirt. If they see the same shirt over and over again, they'll continue to scan because they might see unique information. And secondly, it also promotes the spread of history and narratives that you may not be able to see in that location. So for example, if you're in Atlanta, Georgia, you might want to know more about where you are compared to some piece of history that does not apply to you as much. So we really want to promote these community-based narratives that are hidden, but also relevant to where you are at the time. And finally, we're also looking to expand this community-based. So for example, we want to partner with organizations, or we want to draw attention to people can contact us through the site and submit their own articles or pieces of information that they might want us to include. So if any of you as well have any information or want to give us any inspiration for future articles or information, you can see on the sidebar there's a contact us page, and you can fill out the form and submit to us, and we'll 100% that will go to us, and we'll look at the submission.
Okay, so some potential organization partnerships that we're looking with would be Sustainable Fashion Week here in Atlanta. Very local, very cool. The American Library Association to get more archives and credible sources and stuff like that. And the National Coalition Against Censorship to kind of, fight what's happening here with museums and archives and libraries.
So looking to the future, we encourage anyone to give us new ideas about any other people, like Bayard Rustin, that you would like featured on a shirt, and we'll definitely be open to your ideas. And also, we plan on making the website more interactive, maybe even having people insert their own articles or archives of their own, so it's just a big community. So if you're open to that, you could do that. And yeah, continuing our objective of using clothing as a medium to create advocacy and for the better good. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Yeah, we haven't really looked into selling them yet, but that's definitely a good idea. I think we should start doing that.
Yes, absolutely. Look, the National Youth Advocacy Fellowship needs money. Yeah. So I think it's a great fundraising idea. I also like the idea that like now it's Bayard Rustin, it might be another figure later. And you can take stuff out of the libraries, you can ban stuff, but you can't take stuff off people's backs. So I think this is such an amazing idea and project. Before y'all go, can we just give it up for the artists who created the And for those with shirts on, can we get a picture with Camille? We're gonna take a picture with you.